I'm a big supporter of minority programs. I'm also a participant of marrying money investors to talented DB people. I have a minority interest in a couple of DB companies and they're doing quite well. The solution is enforcement in the document. We need to put a provision in the contracts with the city that says a contract is null and void if you do not follow the law of the city of New Orleans, one of which is the DB participation. I want to add another measure to that, to add if you violate a city ethics violation, that the contract can also be violated. We have to start getting serious about things, not just give political rhetoric, not just pander to the special interests, but put in contracts both ethics clauses and DB enforcement clauses. It does not need any tweaking. I was a force in helping the business community come and support the concept and helping raise the money. It needs to be implemented immediately, and I will implement it immediately upon being elected mayor. I'm introducing a concept in government called cold calling. We do it in business every day. Politicians are afraid to cold call because they want to be there for success. I'm not afraid of failure. I will call on more people and I'll do day trips.
Exactly how do you attract those businesses other than establish relationships and cold calling?
Well, first of all, we have to rebrand the city of New Orleans. It's long overdue. New Orleans needs to be rebranded against European cities of Venice, Florence, Rome, Paris, Athens. Also compared in America to Philadelphia and Charleston. New Orleans is not Houston, Orlando, or Las Vegas. If we enhance our tourism to have more of a serious person that comes here for business and cultural pleasure, we can enhance our businesses. That's the first thing you do. Second thing you do is you solve the crime problem. If you want to know why we don't have an economy going in New Orleans, it's because we have to make it more affordable. We lower the property taxes and we increase the sales tax. And minimally, we increase the sales tax. We collect what's already on the books. Too many times we're nickel and diming our citizens. That's why I'm for an elimination of meters on weekends. That type of mentality is running business out of New Orleans. If you operate a business on Magazine Street or in the French Quarter, you're adversely affected by the meter situation. We need to eliminate these meters that are plaguing the retailers so that someone says, well, I can go over here and get free parking, or I can go to Magazine Street or the French Quarter. It starts with parking. Why not have the garage at City Hall valet parking for its customers? When you have business at the city, you arrive. Do you believe it used to be that? You used to be able to go in the garage, leave your tenant the key, go in and meet with whoever you're meeting with, and leave. Walmart would never allow the employees of Walmart to take all the good parking spaces. So, private sector solutions. We need private sector solutions. This businessman calling on another business person, explaining to them that there's a niche in a market. I've already had substantive conversations with some of the biggest big box developers in the country about the biggest opportunity for them, the demographics of New Orleans East. We need full service restaurants. We need retail, quality retail. The recovery of New Orleans East, first of all, no one believed it would come back. Second of all, government didn't do a commitment. They didn't build the libraries, the fire stations. They didn't rebuild immediately. So when you're doing the planning for all these big enterprises, we need to show a renewed commitment of government to New Orleans East. We also need to explain to them there's a market. The economy and the debt, everyone slowed down reopening. But I will argue, Walgreens reopened. Go into New Orleans East. Those that have the resources to open it. Why didn't Walmart? They can't decide where to go. There are too many turf wars in New Orleans East. They don't know whether to go on this site, that site. I'm going to explain to them. They go where they want to go.
Would you be willing to put any of your own businesses in
Well, I just bought Galatoire's restaurant.
New Orleans East.
Oh, in New Orleans East?
Yeah.
Yes. My church, which I was president of, we're building an assisted living center out there. I don't know if you know the history of my family, but my wife's family developed Jazzland. And my wife's uncle was president of Eastover when it was developed. So we already have a presence in New Orleans East. Plus my wife's grandfather was the attorney for Colonel Montlezin, who was the owner of all the land in New Orleans East 50 years ago. So we know New Orleans East. The skill set that I bring to the table is that politicians launch initiatives without understanding the economy of whether they can do reality. Business people live in the real world. The citizens of New Orleans East want a Walmart. Walmart wants to go to New Orleans East. There's something wrong. I will make sure that that process is both transparent and free for them to choose whatever site they were, because I believe it's not just Walmart that'll come. I throw Bass Pro Shop out there. I throw Pappas Restaurants out there. I throw Dill's Department Store out there. I'm using brands that the public knows to understand it's not one person. It's a clustering of retail. I've been involved with developments of retail shopping. I've owned shopping centers. I've invested in shopping centers. I understand the economics. It's turning. The economy is churning, and we want to be right there ready to go. There's a segment of the community that believes that they're low-paying wages. There's another segment of the community that believes that we're marketing the wrong tourists. If we're marketing the tourist that goes to Bourbon Street, comes in for the weekend, stays in the cheap, the less expensive hotel, goes on Bourbon, drinks, doesn't buy our antiques, our art, our culture, have their weddings here, come for business, go to a high-end restaurant, that's the differentiation. Now, if you own a hotel in the city and your property taxes are through the roof, and there's no one in your hotel because we don't have direct flights, we don't have a brand of tourists coming to the city, we only have them during special events. I want our city to be every day successful. I will argue that the wages will go up if the property taxes go down and the occupancy rate goes up. So if you create demand for workers in hospital, restaurants, and service industry hotels, if the demand goes up and the occupancy rate goes up and the cost of operating goes down, you will pay a decent wage. I'm not going to be a get-along kind of guy as a mayor. I'm going to be a pushy kind of mayor that says, if you want to do business at my airport, you better open up flights, because when you open up flights, we will have more tourists. When you have to go through Houston, Atlanta, Memphis, Chicago, and Denver to get to New Orleans and Miami, shame on us. And I believe that I convince an airline to dramatically increase flights. It's real important, but yet real simple. There's $3.5 billion approved by Congress, sitting in Baton Rouge, trying to make its way to New Orleans, unjam the bureaucracy. Do you know what $3.5 billion of improvements to playgrounds, libraries, infrastructure? Secondly, the business community, the Forward New Orleans group, which is everybody, it's not just the business community, has a master pavement plan. That's simple stuff. But what we need to do is we need to have the council people working with the mayor, helping prioritize those projects, and working with the Bow Brothers, the Broadmoors, and the Flemings of the world who actually do the work. And they will tell you the fast way to do it. I support design, build, like we're doing now in the libraries. It took government a long time to accept the design, build. We are spending more money on engineering firms than we are on those that are actually doing the work. I'm fully for funding the Inspector General.
Will he be involved in pre-screening of applicants for professional service?
Well, the professional service prospect, I'm for open meeting laws and selection of professional service contractors in an open and transparent fashion by use of experts. If the Inspector General has expertise, he's welcome. If the university president has expertise, if the publisher of a newspaper has expertise, I don't have to put a bunch of political people in political jobs. I will bring the best and the brightest. I will bring fresh, new leaders into government. It's 460 million plus. It was 468 on one model. They negotiated down to the end. Plus there's 650 million of CBDG and federal monies.